diabetic ketoacidosis, you go into diabetic ketoacidosis when your blood sugar is over 250 or 300. So, but I do have the Keto Mojo meter, and also on carnivore, my ketones are probably between zero point 0.5 and 1. They're not as high as when I was on keto.
Okay. Okay. Ken Hoffbauer is saying, can I get a remote session with Dr. Ben? Are you doing the virtual thing? Because he is very interested in a virtual smart session. He's been doing smart for the last 2 years, but he wants to fine tune it with you. Are you available for that? Hold on, doctor.
Yeah, no,
Mute.
I think I muted him, so no, I've got to unmute
Hold on.
him. I can't find
Wait,
the
what?
list.
Hey, while we're waiting for Ben, Andrew, I have a question with regard to keeping your A1C so low. Are you having any troubles with hypoglycemia, symptomatic hypoglycemia, or do you think your ketones are running you when your sugars run low?
A little bit of both. I would say I do run low, but not that much. Not something that's uncontrollable. I have glucose. I do have to use glucose tablets that are controlled dextrose tablets, just in case. But I have a CGM, wakes me up. I have tons of alarms when I have low blood sugars. But I do think that again, I can get it to a 4.6 without any lows, and we're working on that now. So it's definitely a process.
Okay, so Dr. Ben is unmuted now. If you want to go and talk about that. I mean, I just put up the other day a YouTube video of Ben doing a virtual workout with someone. So I'm sure you're still open to do more, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm let me put this gently. I'm interested in doing remote training. I mostly would like to get people started. You know, I have a few clients, and yes, I will start somebody on a program and see how it goes. And what I would ideally like to do for the participants' cost, and also for the sake of me having time to do what I like to do, uh, once I get these people started and they feel confident, we can give them Restore NASM trainers to continue with if they want. Uh, so yeah, you can get a hold of me, Dr. Benbow at hotmail.com, DRBENBO, and just then I'll get in touch with you. We'll set up some training sessions. That's fine. Yeah, so I do it. And like I said, I'm not trying to promote, I don't want to get hundreds of people
If they
only
want,
because I can't handle them. Like,
after he sets up, Dr. Ben has handed off some perpetual people. Some people just don't want to train without a trainer there. And so once Dr. Ben has set them up, then the day-to-day training can go to me, and then periodically check in with Dr. Ben to make sure that
you can go to Jeff, and then we all have access to these Restore coaches. I think one of the things, I'm just mentioning this to Jeff and everybody for the first time, I think I'd like to do a little cam, a little part of our training now for the trainers at NASM on remote training, because I've picked up a lot of stuff in the last couple of months doing it. And I think it's a wave of the future. I'm impressed with the kind of the quality of the workouts that I'm getting, and the people love it. It's real interesting. Yeah. So yes, I am available, and I'm not trying to promote the business or anything, but I would love to help people get started and to see how it works for them.
Very good. All right. Andrew, somebody wants to know, are you single or taken?
I'm single. It's funny.
Single! Ladies, he's single. Wow. Okay. Um, other questions. Dr. Ben, how does extensive stretching fit into your program? Like if you were stretching for a dance class or stretching for
Athletic performance or something.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, stretching's fine. In fact, in my book, I have some of the stretches that I do, but I don't have much problem with stretching, as long as the people who teach you this know what they're doing. I mean, you believe it or not, you can stretch a nerve. Okay, if you get to really do so, you want to stretch muscles. You want to apply some tension, some regulation. I mean, it doesn't give. Some people think, especially the dancing thing, that gives you longer muscles. The only thing that gives you longer muscles are different parents or like extensive surgery. So, but it does allow you to have more a less restricted range of motion. It inhibits the stretch receptors so that you can actually go through a more comfortable range of motion. I don't have a problem with it. In my book, I have I have hundreds of low carb foods from 5 gram to 15 gram portions of everything in the world. It's probably 300 or 400 foods. And I have a very simple stretching program, which I give to my clients. And then if we need to do something specific, if it's stretching for dance, then I would think you're going to have some specific stretches that you want to do. And I have no problem. It doesn't interfere with recovery, if that was the question.
I do those stretches every single day, so I wanted to add to that.
Good stuff. Andrew, we got a question. How often do you have to take your sugar pills, like your dextrose pills, and what's the situation where you take it?
It's just when I'm low. I would again, I'm playing with numbers every single day, so it really depends. Sometimes it's 1 time per day, sometimes it's 2 or 3 times per day. But again, right now I'm really trying out different methods to how much basal insulin I should give, even per meal. Sometimes I give a meal injection and it brings me down a lot. And I should add this too. I was on an insulin pump for years, which is connected to me. And I actually went back on shots because there's slower insulins that are much older that they don't really talk about anymore, because most people out there that are type 1 diabetics are all sick and are eating a high carbohydrate diet. I have to go back on old school Humulin R, which is the difference in price is without a prescription for Humalog, which is the fast acting insulin, it's $300 for one bottle. And you can get the Humulin R over the counter for $25 from Walmart. So there's no money in Humulin R. I'll put it that way. So yeah, I'm off of an insulin pump, and because of that, I was using an insulin pump for 10 years. Now that I'm back on on shots, there's a lot of trial and error with this. So again, when it comes to the dextrose tablets, I keep them with me at all times. I have them in my car. I look like a factory in my house with how many I have. But it all depends.
We got a question that could go out to anyone on the panel here, and it comes from Dr. Ansel, and it has to do with ketoacidosis actually increasing, a likelihood of ketoacidosis increasing in type 1 diabetic rather than type 2 diabetic. And so it can be a problem when using some of the medications associated with type 1 diabetic. Anybody want to speak to that?
Is Brian still there?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm not sure what medicine, because typically with type 1s, we're using insulin to control the sugar. So I'm not sure. There are some medications, some of the like Invokana, some of them that urinating out the glucose can cause some problems with ketoacidosis. That's typically in type 2 diabetics. I'm not sure exactly which medication that would be referring to.
She says, I would like to add a clarification. You can get in diabetic ketoacidosis with normal glucose levels. It can happen when your insulin requirement drops below the minimum insulin number needed for keeping your acid base normal. It can be a problem when using some medications. Is that true? Or does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's monitoring the ketones and seeing where you're sitting. You know, there's a big difference between ketosis and ketoacidosis. So monitoring ketones is always a good idea, especially if you're getting really low, like what Andrew's doing. It's good to follow it and make sure you're not getting spikes.
Right on. She's messaging. She just wants to clarify. This wasn't a question. She just wanted to clarify that T1 can have a DKA with normal sugars.
Correct.
There you go. All right, so that is correct. Very good. Well, it looks like we are at the end of our questions.
Hang on, I see one more coming in there saying more about the online San Diego low carb. You're talking,
Very good.
Chloe, you're talking about the one in August, the big one.
Right. So we typically, the low carb San Diego group typically doesn't have a meeting on during the month of the low carb USA convention here. But that doesn't mean that we won't have a separate one if need be. As of now, we're gearing up for the total virtual event that's coming. It's just 6 weeks away.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a big Low Carb USA San Diego virtual meeting with tons of speakers. We're going to have a great event. Doug is switching totally to a virtual environment, and we're going to keep that momentum going. We need to stay connected, and we need to keep the momentum moving forward with the low carb movement, right? COVID and social unrest and all this can distract people from it, but we are a community amongst ourselves. We're about helping each other, and we're also about new research and making this whole thing better. There's still a lot of work to be done. These guys, including Dr. Brian, and with the changing the standard of care, we still need to work on that. The DGA, Dietary Guidelines for Americans, we're still in the throes of that. So stay tuned, and we will be giving you updates on the next August big event. Doug, do you want to speak to that?
Well, yeah, I think the question was really asking more about that event. I think that was what she was asking about. So basically, I'm going to put in the chat here. I'm going to put a link to the event page, and from there you can see a bit more about it and click on register now, and you can go and register. As I mentioned, maybe you weren't here at the beginning. For those who already have tickets for the live event, they will automatically have those tickets rolled over to next year or any other event that we eventually have live. But they will also get access to this automatically to this virtual event. For those who don't have tickets, the virtual event tickets are normally $79 and will be after the 1st of August. But if you put in I think the code is IAMIN. If you put in that code, you get the $30 off, and it's costing you $49 for a 4-day event, which is going to be absolutely spectacular. So hopefully we see all of you there.
Okay, Jeff?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, one other thing. I told you about this. People they've been asking me for this. So a lot of my jokes, were kind of ethnic. Now I'm making vegan jokes. Vegans being, the fall guys. So there's 2 vegans walking down the street, and one has a basket. So one says to him, "What do you got in the basket?" And the other vegan says, "I got apples." So the first vegan says, "Well, how many apples do you have?" And the guy says, "If you guess, I'll give you both of them." And the other vegan says, 3?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Poor vegans. No wonder we got a problem with portion control.
Dr. Ben.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, and just one other thing, Fat Fiction just went free on Amazon Prime. So anyone who hasn't seen it, watch it.
Okay,
Right.
cool.
You gotta make sure you see the 5 seconds of me training Dr. Ben. That's the most important part of the whole. No, Dr. Brian. Me
Yeah,
training.
you're training me, man.
Brian.
What we're gonna do is get some of my patients over to your place. We're gonna have fun workouts with you, Jeff and Ben. When Ben gets to town, we're really excited about that. So we're gonna have some fun times in the next month or so.
Be a good summer.
We got an open house. We got Dr. Brian's official opening. I'm going over there, checking it out in East County. It's going to be hotter than hot, but he's going to have some ribs going on, and this whole practice is there today. The party never ends. The party never ends.
I gotta go set up. I gotta get there. My wife's gonna yell at me. but I wanted to make sure I was here because this is really important, and and I want to get my patients over to Jeff and us. Look what Andrew's doing. I see the potential. We've seen this potential for 2 years, and it's amazing that it's happening. So it's really really cool.
Great stuff.
And so we're gonna get some good stuff going. We might even get Doug over to say hi.
Yes. So
Yeah,
stay
no,
tuned for
we'll see you
August,
this
guys.
afternoon.
This afternoon, yeah.
Yeah, no, we will be down there, Brian. We'll see you there.
All right, we'll get some shots and share it so people can see it, huh? See the place.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That'll be fun.
I'll even
Looking forward to it.
bring the video camera, I think.
It's date night.
Come on down, Andrew.
Dude, if I would have known. What time is it?
It's
Can-
Start
40
driving,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, you can
LA's
start
not that
driving. You'll
far.
get down here by 4 o'clock.
There's
Get
no
in the car
traffic.
right now, and we'll save one rib for you. One.
You know, I can fast.
Right on.
Okay, everyone.
good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone, for
Thanks.
this sunny, hot day of joining us.
Thanks so
Everybody
much.
Stay well.
Okay, bye-bye.
And Ben, bring some books.
Yeah, baby.
All right.
Take care.
Take care.